might be making more money than others, or how you could just get your retail business up and running a bit better than what it is. So a bit about me. On my first time I dropped my catalogues, I dropped about 200 catalogues, went back, pick them up. Then when I went to go back to pick my stragglers up, I actually wrote my car off. I rolled it over a few times in a field. So sometimes people have got to think, oh, there's too much to join Vivamk. But I joined Vivamk, paid, well, it was with cleanies when I actually wrote my car off, and I got about 200 catalogues, so it was around £200 I spent. But then I had to buy another car on top of that to carry on doing the business. But I survived that. So I'll just read a few, just have a look at my notes, read the questions and talk about it a bit. But if you've got any questions, just answer it at the end of the talk, because there's always but I found this, or but I found this when I did this. But everything I'm going to say has got the reverse, so I could speak like the opposite today and it'd be still fine with certain situations. So when you're actually retailing, you can be like a single person retailing, or you can be like a couple retailing. And if you're a single person and trying to go against like a couple could actually retail twice as much as a single person. So if you just play it wise and just look to somebody who's similar as you and try and work your business, try and beat them, or look at their figures and think, oh, next period I'll do better than them. But perhaps not try and do it if you're single, trying to beat a husband and wife doing a business together. Just go against the same sort of person as you are doing it. But anybody can build a massive business, even if you're married or single. It's about building a team, really, where your money comes in. Sometimes when you go on Facebook, you hear somebody just starting and they got a really big order, or somebody's gone to a new area and got a big massive order, and everybody's giving them love hearts and saying well done and that, and they go up on stage and tell them the story. But been in the business quite a while, and quite often there's people always pick up the best stories out of all the network, and it may be that new person actually started up dropping the catalogues where another distributor's doing the catalogues, and they drop the catalogues down the road, and the customers to the old distributors think, oh, there's a new distributor started and gave all the orders to the new person. But then when the distributor goes, the normal distributor goes down again, they soon realise that they made a mistake and probably give them even more of a bigger order. But you find that people get a big order first time, that they expect a big order each time. But if you do your catalogues and you've gone out and got £10 order, you think, oh, this is a struggle. And perhaps you go out, do your catalogues, drop them 10 times and you get a £10 order each time, but you get a new customer. But in 10 weeks time, you've got 10 customers with a £10 order, and that's you're getting £100 order every time you drop your catalogues to the customers. But even if your customers could be, first time they might just try you out and give you a £10 order, but once they get to trust you, it might be a £10, £20 order. But where the new person who suddenly got a brilliant order first go, then the second time they went round, they got £10, and next time they got a £20 and thinking, oh, it's not working now. You usually see the people who get a big order straight away usually drop off, but the ones who struggle and build a business up, they become really successful. So, just keep going. So there's two ways you can drop your catalogues. basically two ways. One where's blanket dropping, where you're going around dropping the catalogues through the letterboxes, and the other one's like presentation. So it's down to suits you, and like some of the differences between blanket dropping and presentation I'll just go through. So like if you actually live in the area, live in the housing estate or the town where you're doing your catalogues, it probably is a good idea to actually go around and present yourself, who you are and what you're doing when you're dropping the catalogues. If you're starting with like 50 catalogues, then you probably need to present your catalogues because you haven't got enough catalogues to get enough orders blanket dropping. But where I've been doing the catalogues, and I've been doing it like full time, but I live in the country, I've got to drive like 5 miles to the nearest customer. So the customers don't know me, but because I'm doing it full time, I'm dropping the catalogues in the morning where the people are at work. So it like varies. If you're like if you're doing your presentation and you're doing your presentation in the morning, a lot of people would be at work, so you'd be knocking on a lot of doors and nobody be in, and you keep going to the next door. If you're doing it in the afternoon, more people will be in, and you'll be able to present your catalogues quicker. Presenting the catalogues, you always get more money doing it that way than blanket dropping. But the odd time when I'd done the presenting the catalogues, I found that the second time I went round, I didn't, you just put the catalogues through the door. You don't knock on the door and say, hi, I'm new. I don't seem to get that many orders. If I do a blanket drop, the people who order will order because they want the catalogue, not because you've asked for an order. But it's just pluses and minuses about that a bit. Yeah, so when you like go door knocking, when you knock on the door, knock really loudly. First knock, I just do a test to see how strong the glass is or how hard the plastic is or the wood is. Then once you've done a tester, you can knock a couple of times quite loud, hard as you dare really. If nobody comes, knock a second time because they might not have heard you first time. And even if nobody comes that second time, if you knock a third time, if nobody's in, then it doesn't matter because nobody's heard you knocking 3 times. But if somebody's in, they might think it's urgent and they'll come to the door. So you probably get more people coming to the door if you just persevere and knock it like 3 times. When you go to the door, what you find is quite often there's a doorbell, there's a door knocker, and the door. If you go to the door and push the doorbell, quite often the battery is flat in the doorbell. So you stood there for about 30 seconds wondering if they come or not, and you've not heard the doorbell. Sometimes, if the doorbell's working, sometimes the doorbell's situated just behind the door and you can hear it ring. But other times, people put the doorbells in the living room or the back of the kitchen, and when you push it, you can't hear it ring or not. So when I go up to a door, I never use the doorbell first, because if it doesn't work, you stood there for like a minute or so, wondering if they're coming or not. First, I'll knock on the door. If I feel I've done it loud enough, I would then, instead of using the doorbell, quite often if you just hold the flap of the letterbox and pull it back and let it it's got a spring on it, so if you let it flick like 3 times, it's like a different pitch. Like if you knock on the door, it's a foot. If you pull the letterbox back, it's more of a tapping noise, and the person in the house probably could hear it better. Then if nothing happens, then a third try, last resort, use the doorbell. What I find is, like, if we're going back collecting the catalogues and I knock on the door and a child opens the door, don't go, oh hiya, is your mum and dad in? Just treat them as a human being. I could just treat them as a grown up. Say, like I usually say, hi, I'm Raymond Whittaker, I'm from Vivamk. I just come to collect the Vivamk catalogue. and they'll understand you, and if they know where it is, they'll go and get it. If they don't, well, and if there's nobody else in the house, then you just like put it down as you haven't got the catalogue, and go back probably when the grown-ups back in the house. And quite often when you talk to the child after they open the door, the actual grown-up is actually behind the door, so they hear what you're saying, or they're in the living room and they'll come and get the catalogue once they know who you are. There's like different houses. There's like terraced houses, there's semi-detached houses, and there's like bungalows with conservatories on, or houses with conservatories on, and all these have different approaches to them. And I said, like, if you go to, I've just done a quick sketch here, so it's probably not very, I tried to make this as a pavement, this is a road, and there's like 4 houses, and there's the terraced houses. And if you put the catalogues through the letterboxes, when they put the catalogues out, they might put them like between the 2 doors, and you won't be able to know like which catalogue belongs to who. So if there's one catalogue in the middle of the 2 houses, you pick up, you got a catalogue, you don't know which letterbox to put. Sorry, I missed you. I'll come back tomorrow for a catalogue. So how I do it is, say, I get the catalogues and say this is like number 1 house. With my pen, I'll just pull the top down and just like write like 1 on there and push it through the number 1 house. Then I go to like the second house, like number 3 house, and I'll go down, do the same, and write like number 3 on the catalogue. So in 2 days' time or the next day, if I go back and pick up the catalogues, if it's got number 1 house there, I know it's from that house. And if there's only 1 catalogue between them 2 houses, it's got number 3 on it, I know it's from this house, and I know I put a note through the door on number 5 house to ask for the catalogue back. So once you do this down a few streets, you like using the same catalogues again for the houses. What, like on this catalogue now, I've got number 3 on there. I'll never ever like scrub that off, because then it makes your catalogues look really scruffy if you start scribbling numbers off. Say this is next week, and I go down the street again and I drop this catalogue to number 7 house. What I'll do is I'll just write number 7 on the catalogue. So always the last number is the house where I put it in. So I'll just forget about the 3 and put the 7 on, and I know it's from number 7 house. And when you're going down and doing it yourself, it's quite often the same numbers match up to the same doors again. It's surprising how often that happens. Just on the map, there's like a quick sketch here, and it's like 2 houses, or 2 bungalows, or 2 semi-detached houses, and both got conservatories on. So when you're dropping your catalogues off, if you got a house with no conservatory on, and there's just a door, and you push a catalogue through the door, it goes straight into the hallway. If you've got a conservatory, quite often, if it's a bungalow, the old age people only come out to pick up the post when the postman's been, or go to the shops or something. They'll never come out during the day. So say if you're doing like next day cataloguing, where you drop the catalogues and pick it up the next day to get quite good numbers. If you go in the morning, put your catalogue through the letterbox, and if it's before the postman, and and they'll come out and pick up your catalogue with a mail and have a look at it, and it'll say you're going to put it out next day. Then you, in the afternoon, you go and pick them all up. But the second time, the next day when you're doing it, because you've picked all you're doing it next day, you picked all your catalogues up in the afternoon, you then like drop well no, you then all your catalogues in the houses, then the next day you go and pick up the catalogues in the morning and pick them all up. Then in the afternoon you drop them through the next load of houses. So you missed the postman because you're dropping the catalogues in the afternoon and the postman's already been in the morning. The person's come out, got the mail, gone back in, and your catalogue's been sat there all day. Then in the next day they come and pick up the catalogue, and they say, oh, next day, oh, I'd not looked at it yesterday, so they just put it outside again. They won't bring it in to have a look. And it can be the same at weekends. Just on one here, say with a letterbox, if you drop your catalogues over the weekend and you put you've done it on a Friday, then on Saturday the customer come out and pick it out of the letterbox. If you do it at the weekend and doing it on Saturday, and depending on what time the postman delivers on Saturdays, if you've done it after the postman, your catalogue will be in the post box all weekend and they won't see it. And when you go around on Monday to ask for it or put the note through the door, they'll say, oh, I got the catalogue in, put it outside, but they won't actually won't have time to look at the catalogue. So you just got to be a bit wary. Like, you can't leave the catalogue, if there's a letterbox outside, you can't put it through the door really, because the letterbox probably means there's a dog inside that will chew up your catalogues. So it's just one of them things in your mind you've got to be aware of. So just done another quick sketch here. This is like a main road, and this is like a little T road with a few houses on it. This is like a ring road with a load of housing estate with a load of houses on, and this is just side roads. When you with Clean Easy, most people started with like 200 catalogues. With Vivamk, they start with like 50, but I would say you need 250 catalogues really if you're doing a blanket dropping. But there's other firms out there like Avon and other ones do catalogues as well, and they'll probably start with about the same number of catalogues. But with Clean Easy, say this was like 300, all the way around here was like 300 houses. I would start here and go around and probably dropped all the 300 catalogues about halfway around, and other people in other years probably done the same and gone round. And where I actually found most of my orders were right at the end here, in this area here, where people have started then ran out but not gone back, just to finish off the little areas. So always have that in mind. Always finish off the area where you're doing, because somebody else probably thought the same thing, and the ones that don't get finished off aren't used to catalogues and will have more chance to have a look at it. If you're doing a long road and you just say, oh, I can't be bothered to do them 3 houses, quite often I find it's just them 3 houses where you get the best orders from. And when you're doing your catalogues and you're doing a round book and recording your catalogues, the first time you actually do your catalogues, you start your round book, but if you're doing this main road, you would want all the houses in row. So in your round book, you've got it all in order. So if you start here, make sure you go up that road, then down again, back again. But on your second time you go, you can just stop your car and do them houses, then these houses, because it won't be messed up in your round book. You know where to go. So on like housing estates where I have shoots off, if the shoots off aren't very long, I'll go on my round book, go down this road, the main road, then write this road, do this road, then go back in my round book and put this road, then do this road, then go back in the round book. If this was really long and a lot of houses, I would just do the round book for this road and leave these roads as separate pages for the round book. I hope that makes a bit of sense. So like probably just mentioned this before earlier on. Different like next day pickups was you can get more orders and you're dropping more catalogues because you're dropping every day and picking up and dropping again the same day. But the orders would be further apart. But you get more orders because you're dropping to more houses. If you're dropping like twice a week or pick it up in 2 days' time, you probably get more orders, but you won't be dropping to as many houses. So if you're really like desperate to get a lot of orders to get a target, probably like you do like the next day deliveries, but you have to also bear in mind that which houses you're doing it to. If you're doing it next day to ones with porches and the people aren't looking at it till you're coming back, it's not probably worth it. I find next day is probably best for like terraced houses where you're actually putting the catalogue through the letterbox and it going straight into the living room so people pick it up and have a look. When I was like doing the catalogues, like the terrace houses, it took me like years before I got a £100 order. But my first £100 order was in a terraced house, and it was only like 2 terraced roads away from a town centre, where I thought being right close to a town centre, people won't be ordering that much because they could just walk into a town centre and get the orders. But my first order was on the terraced houses, right about 2 roads back from a town centre. Actually, my downline actually got a £100 order before I did. So if you're thinking, oh, I'm not getting big orders, it will come to you. You just keep at it. My biggest order so far doing the cataloguing has been a £200 order, and I did like a terraced houses, and I had about 5 catalogues left over. And they always say like, you got to go and drop all your catalogues. And I thought, all right, well, I'll do it. And it was some bungalows, and I dropped those last 5 catalogues, and one of them got me a £200 order. And what it was a person had just moved into the bungalow and just wanted all new stuff for the bungalow. Yeah, so just going back on the terrace houses, I write the numbers on the catalogue. Some marker pens, you can actually put a number on the plastic bag and it'll stay there. Other marker pens, it'll just run off. So another quick way of doing terrace houses, if you got a marker pen and put the number on the plastic bag, because then you can just chuck the bag away for the next drop. Just what suits you. So like when you're putting your books through the letterbox and going back for the catalogues, so first day I go back, I pick up all the catalogues that people left out, but I never knock on the door to get a catalogue back if they haven't left the catalogue outside. What I use is like sorry I missed you slip, and I print it on both sides. Well, I print all my slips on both sides, so if it goes through the letterbox, no matter which way down it falls, it's always like showing. And he'll say I'll be back like the next day to pick up the catalogue if it's outside. So I'll go back the next day to pick up the catalogue. And even if it's still not in on the next day, after knocking like 3 times, I'll put, sorry I missed you, I'll come back. That's back. Well, no, I'll get wrong. I'll just put another one of these through the letterbox, like sorry I missed you, until I actually get the catalogue back. What you find is, if you're doing it after work, and you only got a set time to go back, and because you got to get your tea ready and that person who's you're knocking on the door trying to get the catalogue back might be at work themselves, so you got to try and swap the times round, perhaps when you're not at work and yet at the weekend or something, going in the morning and knock on the door. It's just a matter of, if you catch a person in, you usually get your catalogue back. And if you get an order, I'll just put like thank you for your order through. I'll deliver it in 4 to 14 days, because when I was doing the catalogue's main time, I was getting a lot of orders, and I couldn't tell them what day it'll be back because I just didn't know myself which day it would be. Yeah. So going back, the person may be on holiday, so don't feel scared to go back like a week later or even a month later and knock on the door and ask for the catalogue back, because they usually put it in a drawer somewhere, or it's on the sideboard. And as long as you can speak to the person, you usually get your catalogue back. If you spoke to the person and said they've thrown it away, we didn't realise that, keep it out, then it's fine enough, you lost that catalogue. But if you haven't spoken to the person, then there's a good chance you are going to get the catalogue back. Don't give up on it. So on like a customer base, some customers are a bit temperamental about putting a bit forgetful putting the catalogues out. And some people, I can hear some people say, oh, if I never get my catalogue back, I never dropped that person again. But I do, because you quite often they just forgot to put it out, and you gone around and put another catalogue through, then they forgot to put that one through, and that you're never in when you go back and knock for it. And the most I've ever gone back is like 4 catalogues been on the doorstep. So I've dropped the catalogues like 4 periods in a row to a customer and not ordered anything, but I've still got the catalogues back. So on the round books, when I go around doing the catalogues, I use the round books, which like you can buy on eBay and places, and perhaps Vivamk printing will do it. So how I do it is I'll go down, write the street, the dates, the house number down the side, and if I've dropped the book, I put a B in it. If I get the book back and there's no order, I just cross it off. If I've looked at it, I just do a cross. If you haven't looked at it, I put like a minus sign in the comment sign, phone name, whatever. If I've placed an order, like 12A, placed 2 orders on that one, got a £19 order first time and £9.95 second time, and put a circle around, and just keep doing it. And if there's go down the street and there's a shop, I perhaps put shop there, so I know I didn't drop a book to the shop, but just went past it. So on the back of some of the round books, it actually tells you how to fill in the round book. So now I just do it like how the people say to fill it in. So then I only use the round books for like blanket dropping. So once I've got like an order, what I will do then, I've like printed off my own like round sheets, where I just put the at the top here, put the town, put the road name, the house number. I put the date and drop the book, and do the same as what I do in the round book with the figures. So in the end, it like looks like that for like a customer base. So what you do is you fill it in, and obviously you forget to print out another timesheet, so you just carry on putting the dates in those columns where you can find them. So like I spend all day just like dropping to like customers. So you can see on here where I've got roads here and there's no customers there, but I've been doing it so long that not all customers last forever, and you drop customers off only by once or twice a year. So in like St. John's Road, I've just dropped everybody off that customer base. But on Havana, like some customers would order every time you drop a catalogue in, and some won't. Some will do it, order twice a year. Some will, you miss one out, a period out, and do it next time. So we've had like 77, I've dropped a book and not looked at it. Then 1, 2, 3, like 5 periods later, I dropped another book, but we looked at it. So I can still keep him on the round sheet, but I won't drop every time. And just fine. Like some, they'll like order, then they'll stop. Then after like a few 6 drops or so, you haven't got an order from them, and you just got a gut feeling that you just go out, look for another customer. You know, if you've left them for a year and you perhaps sign somebody else up in the town, a year later they'll go around and put a fresh catalogue through that customer's house, then they'll pick them up. So if you're dropping people off, you always let them, your new distributors, a chance to getting somebody new. So like when it's raining, you can't go around with your round books. So like I know some people use the round book, like go around and put a round book in the paper bag and write in the paper bag like the people's details, and it gets a bit messy. So what I do when it's raining, got like a jug of water here, you can get waterproof paper, and you get this from like diving schools. People go deep sea diving, and the wetter it is, the better it works. So I had a pencil around here somewhere. So you just use a pencil and put a cross or 10 and it works fine. Then when you get back, then you transfer from the book in your car or back at home, and you just keep your round books nice and dry.
There you go, Lisa. You can do your lists in the shower.
Yeah. So yeah, so you get them from a diving school, like a deep scuba diver place, the best place to get them from. Like for printing invoices out, like if you're new, you have to go and use a pen to write your name and address in it. What I find is if you buy like the sheets of paper, the invoices from somewhere like Vivamk printing, whatever, you can do like 5 packs and they go perfectly fine for your printer. Then something will change on the how they stuck the form together or something, and they start getting jammed up. So I use a like a rubber stamp to stamp mine. I've got 2 stamps. This one here, it's not. I didn't go in and like put letters down. It's one where you put like a picture, send a picture in, and I've sent a picture in of my names. So I'll just do a stamp, and that's the stamp of that. It's still my like clean easy stamp, but it still works. It's still got my name and telephone number. And the other cheaper ones are ones where you got the you can change the letters. So this stamp look like that. So with these stamps, if you're in your house, central heating will dry them out really quickly, and they want you to just get it out. Change this like ink pad. But what I've done is I took the ink pad out, and you have to take it out of its little holding, turn it the other way around because there's a gorse on the other side. Then just buy a bottle of ink from your stationery place and just keep filling in, putting little dabs of ink on here. And I know I do my catalogues outside, so it takes ages for it to dry, but if you're in the house, it'll be dry in a week and you have to keep redoing it, and it's too expensive to keep buying these. So I just buy, I think, for me, the big stamp, I just got a proper stamping mat where I just keep putting ink in to keep it going. So when I'm like putting the catalogues together, you try and always do it as fast as you possibly can to put the catalogues together. So I never ever put the zip ties up together when I'm doing the catalogues, because if you've got a pile of zip ties, if you've got these bags and you've got like 250 catalogues, like how long is it going to take you to zip tie all 250 catalogues? Well, it's going to take you 5 minutes or so, isn't it? And it just gives you 5. If you're doing it when you're putting them together, it gives you 5 minutes longer. So when you're doing your catalogues, you always got time when you're walking down somebody's driveway. So I always, when I got like nothing to do, I just zip it too when I pull the catalogue out of my bag and walking down the drive to put it at the house door. Also, if you leave them open, if you couldn't go out on Monday to drop the catalogue, or if you're going to drive, pick them up on Monday, you can't pick them up on Monday, you want to change it to another day. What I do, I've got these like rubber finger stamps, what you can get from the stationaries, and you just put your hand in and it just catches onto the slip, and you can just pull it out really easy. If you don't have it, when I'm putting the catalogues together, I always have one of these on the finger, so when you got the pile of slips, when you're changing the slips in the catalogues, you can just like pick them up really easy. You're not trying to separate them and whatever. Another thing, what I've learned, what you can do to your customers, if you're looking suddenly to get a bit more income, you're getting like 20, 25 quid a book, or your customers, you want to get more orders from your customers. What I do, like buy a pen, just watch where you're buying from. I always look for buying like 3p a pen. You can get pens for like 3p. If you only don't buy them for £1 or 50p because it's way too expensive, I just drop them in the catalogue bag, and when they're on the sofa looking through the catalogues and think, oh, I want that drain away, oh, I haven't got a pen, oh, I'll do it like when I get up. Well, they probably forget about it when they get up. If they've got the pen in the bag, they'll do it then. So you probably, once you start doing it, you would see you get more orders, then you get used to it, then you're not sure if you are getting more orders or not after a while. But even if if you don't get your pen back, it's like 3p. They've still got the pen in the house, so when you go next time, or you've got a pen to fill in your order, so it's not completely wasted. And with a pen in, you can still fill your catalogues to put them through the small boxes, small letter boxes. So when you're starting off, it's a bit daunting when you got like a big packet of catalogue with invoices, buying hundreds. But at the peak, I was getting like 100 orders each time I dropped my catalogues to a customer base. So I get through one of these packs every drop with orders. So there's something just to work towards, going out, getting your first 100 orders on a blanket drop, on a catalogue drop. Also, when you're going around doing your catalogues, you're going to get different personalities, and you're going to get personalities which will like clash with you. But as long as you know that different personalities, there's like basically 4 personalities in a human race, and opposite attracts, and there's always one what's like you don't get on with. But even with like network marketing, you're going to get some distributors you don't like, but as long as you like realize why you're not getting on with them and understand why you're not getting on with them, then they're still there to can earn you like extra income. You get like some blokes what are like think their houses are like castles, and when they're going around watering the hanging baskets and that, they always go and put the watering hose pipe over your catalogues. But it's just their way of treating their house as a castle, really, and it doesn't really cause any harm because your catalogues in a plastic bag usually, no harm usually comes up with it. Sometimes, like when you're going around doing your catalogues, you got your child with you, and sometimes it's a bit hard to drag them around with you, and you're looking for games to play with them just to keep them occupied and that. And there's one game where you can play is like going around and finding all the rubber bands what postmen drop. So I've gone round one time collecting elastic bands, and this is about the size of the ball where you can get where one single plastic band goes. You have to collect double ones now to go bigger than that. So it's just a one way of keeping your kids occupied, and they've got a nice little power ball.
Apparently.
Just keeping your kids active when you're going around. Just little games that you can play with them. Another way, if you like, live on your housing estate, and most housing estates got a Facebook page for the housing estate. So what some distributors are doing is actually joining the Facebook page or group for the housing estate and introducing themselves, telling you who you are. And once they get to know who you are, you can say, oh, today I'm going down such a road dropping the catalogues. It's me. Don't give us an order. And if people get to know you, then they're more likely to order from you. And it is working for a few people who actually even moved to a new housing estate, don't know anybody there, joined the group and started like posting who they are and what they're doing. So it's just an extra way.
I'm going to do that as soon as we leave this room.
Yeah. So there's Facebook groups. There's like next door. Next door is just like the area around where you are. So if you join the next door and you introduce yourself and you're saying, today I'm going down St. John Street, well, people on St. John Street will be looking out for you. Then the next week you go down another street. Same on Instagram. If you can find somewhere where they got your area Instagram, you can start posting on there. So like Christmas time and that, when you've got your your customer base. You know, another way of getting cards is to getting orders. You're putting like your Christmas cards out, and when I did it first time, you just doubled the amount of orders I got, giving a customer a Christmas card. So when you're going around doing your cataloguing, just find a sheet of paper, and you got your going around your housing estate. I was with a downline, helping them put the catalogues out, and there's a letterbox in a hedge, and the downline just walked past it, missed it out, and said, "Look, is that put it in the letterbox?" So they did do, and it was a letterbox for a mobile home between two houses, and she got £100 order first time from that letterbox. Then after that, her orders were around £80. So when you put your catalogues through every letterbox where you can find it, don't miss one out, because if you miss it out, other people probably missed it out when they're going around dropping takeaway leaflets and that, and they're not used to people putting stuff in the letterboxes and that. So I've talked about blanket dropping and next day presenting the catalogues. Well, I actually don't do it like that. I've changed it now. I never put on a blanket drop, I never put my catalogue through the door now. What I do is go up to the house and leave it by the step on the door, just by the door, and I put a leaflet through the letterbox like this, and on the leaflet it says, "I have left you some catalogues on the doorstep for you to browse if you wish. Please do not throw them away, as I have to replace any that have not been returned to me. I will collect the pack on the day written on the slip inside the catalogue. If you no longer wish to receive this catalogue service from me, please write your address on the back of the slip. Then please leave it in the pack where it can be seen when I collect it. Thank you very much," like Raymond Whittaker. So I drop the catalogue outside. People who want to have a look at the catalogue will pick up the catalogue, bring it in the house, and they've actually physically brought it in the house, so they will have a look at it. You know, sometimes the husband will go in, or will just see something outside and they bring it in, so you still have to go back and knock on it. But you get more catalogues outside when you go around first time to pick up the catalogues. So the next time you go around and knock on the doors, there's less catalogues to pick up. So I'll just get you. So in about 2 years, I just kept the notes for the people who say put the right houses numbers on that don't want the catalogues. So I've got these, these are all people who don't want the catalogue, but you're looking for people who don't want the catalogue. You're looking for people who want the catalogue. So, just go out and collect a lot of no's, and you get plenty of yeses and plenty of orders. So that's about 45 minutes. So I round it up now. So Nick, if you want to take it back.
I can take it back if you like.
Yeah.
There's some quite really good tips there, actually. I'm going to do that group, definitely.
Yeah. Some of the stuff I can download to the Facebook.
Like that one, that leaflet that says, that one you just showed us. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I can do that. That one, yeah.
Right. I can see me just going all the way down. Throw. Yeah, that's good. That's a very, very nice ball. You've got a ball of whatever they are, bands. Very interesting.
It's just, it's not showing you how to do the catalogues. It's just
there are so many different ways of doing doing it.
Yeah.
It's just finding a way that works for you.
And one thing, if you're dropping your catalogues before the postman, they'll take your catalogues in with the post. If you do it, the postman comes at different times, at different areas. So it's just, if you're trying to do your catalogues quick in a few days, in and out, then if you're not getting your orders, then you may be dropping your catalogues a bit too late after the post in quite a few houses.
It's just